Hey everyone, what's going on? Joey here, and today we're finally doing something that I've been so excited just to reveal this broccoli, because it's someone who I known for the first second they started singing on the show. I was like, oh my god, he's my favorite on the show, beating out Donny Osmond, which is kind of hard because Donny Osmond is a legend, and so is the broccoli. We're gonna go through the audio, the clues, the pitch correct, everything. We're gonna go through it all. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, and you give this video a thumbs up. And I just wanna let you know, you want to stay to the end of the video because I have a surprise for you guys. Let's get started. So, I can't stop smiling just because that's how excited I am about this person. If I am right, if this person's on the show, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I hope that this person makes it at least to the finals. I don't know, because he's also dealing with the jellyfish is really good. But anyway, let's go through all the clues and everything we know about this, about the broccoli. So I mean, as you can tell, I'm kind of like, yeah, that's how excited I am about this show and this person being on here. So I'll go through the clues they gave us, then we'll go through the audio, and then we'll answer all the clues, and then our surprise for you. So if you're like me, you typed up everything on your computer. We're gonna kind of ignore the tease that they gave before the season started because it really didn't mean anything. It really was just him explaining his costume. But starting off with episode number 1, which for the broccoli was only 2 weeks ago. You know, because they didn't come on until episode 5, and then this week was episode 6. They had 2 back-to-back week episodes. So his clues were, it started off like a TikTok video showing that he had 60 million likes and 75,000 comments. In his backyard, we saw 2 dogs. One looked like a pepper. I don't know why. And we saw a huge can of soup, which looks like a Campbell's soup can. It does. He says, it ain't so easy being a kid rolling with the OGs, but performing is my passion. We saw him swinging on a swing, because where you swing, right? He has a yellow sports car with a license plate that says ladies man, which this person is a ladies man, or at least was a ladies man. He says, while I've been on many stages, none have excited me more than this one, which is not really a clue. We just know that this person's been on a lot of stages. The next clues are from episode 2. The broccoli's package started off as like a spoof to the Godfather / the Food Fellas. So, you know, like, imagine you're Italian. Hey, how are you? What are you doing over there? Because that's how the Godfather talked. He had like cotton in his cheeks. It was weird. Anyway, so he said, as far as I can remember, I always wanted to be the broccoli. I dream of being a superfood that enriches people's lives. He's seen at the Copacabana, and you see the number 900 painted above it. He said, I had dinner with a legendary friend, the Big Cheese. I raced home, and after pulling an all-nighter, I cooked up a beauty that really packed a punch. Then we saw the numbers 37265. And if you look at the phone, they kind of match up with letters. That's important for later. We see an anchor. We see red wine, a Hawaiian pizza with Canadian bacon. We see a guitar, and the oven says 6 a.m. He said that he created a classic all from one meal. Then the last clue, which was that magic clue, which kind of appeared, it was a roulette wheel with a number black 22 with the ball on there. So those are all the clues they had given us. Let's go through the pitch correct audio. Here's the audio they gave us.
Take this clue for a spin, and you may land on my identity if you're lucky.
Now here's our pitch correct audio.
Take this clue for a spin, and you may land on my identity if you're lucky.
Now, who do you think that is? Who do you think that is? Let me know in the comment section. I think it's Paul Anka. That's right, Paul Anka, the world famous jazz singer / crooner / swinger, singer, whatever you want to call it. He is a legend. I mean, he deserves to be on the board with everyone behind me. Dean Martin, because he's worked with Dean Martin. Sinatra, because he's worked with Sinatra. We've got Tony Bennett, there we go, I can't play that way. Tony Bennett, Perry Como, you name it, Al Martino. He's up there with those big guys. Now, just to go ahead and confirm it, let's compare the talking voice. Let's go, here we go.
Take this clue for a spin, and you may land on my identity if you're lucky.
And I write, and they called it Puppy Love. Donny Osmond took it to another level.
So that sounds like him. Now it's time for the singing. I mean, we're also going to do the singing from today's age because he started singing at age 14, and that was very high, and he can't do those high notes anymore. So here, take a listen.
I can see it in your eyes. Show me that you love me too.
So yes, that sounds like him. It's him so far. Let's answer all of the clues, starting off with the reference of TikTok and being popular. Well, he started at age 14, and obviously there was no TikTok or social media around. But if there was at that time, he would be the #1 follower because at 14 he was singing. He was a teen heartthrob. I mean, he was just like Fabian, Frankie Avalon, Bobby Rydell when they were young. He was bigger than those guys, but he was the #1 teen heartthrob. Continuing down, we saw 2 dogs and a big can of soup. Interesting story with a can of soup. And I guess he was maybe 13 years old. He was in a Campbell's soup competition. He had to go around for 3 months and collect labels of Campbell's soups and mail them in, and he won. He got to go to New York City where, he fell in love with singing and all that jazz. The dogs, there really isn't many clues for the dogs except for the fact that there was a cameo of him in Gilmore Girls because Lorelai has a dog named Paul Anka, and she had a dream one night where Paul Anka, the real Paul Anka, was in her dream with Paul Anka, her dog. Yeah, I know. Kind of weird, but that's the only reference I got with the dog. After that, he says, it's not easy being a kid rolling with the OGs. Well, as you know, he was with a lot of OGs, and you could say old guys, but really it means, the most amazingest singers in the world because he used to hang out with the Rat Pack. Yes, that's right. Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Joey Bishop. I mean, he used to hang out with them, and he was the kid. There actually is a story about him that he talked about in his book from 2013 where the guys used to call him the kid because by that time, they already had their full-blown career. You're talking about the 50s, 60s, and they already bloomed in 40s into the 50s. So to them, he was just a kid, and he was. He was 14, 15. I feel like he wrote My Way when he was, maybe in his late 30s or something like that? Yeah, he was always the kid to Sinatra and the crew. As we continue on, we see him on a swing. Well, depending on what you categorize as his genre, to me, he's a crooner, but people say, he's a swing singer or big band singer. So you kind of can go both ways on that. Next, we see that license plate that says Ladies Man. Well, the ladies adored him when he was a kid. And I guess technically still do because of his voice. Any singer who can sing nice smooth jazz is on point. I think that's why Julia fell in love with me. Julia's not here. I don't know why I pointed over there. Then he said he's been on many stages. None of them excited more than this one. Well, yeah. He's been on many, many different stages. Next are the clues from episode 2. It started off with the spoof of the Godfellas, the Goodfellas, whatever you want to do. They're playing around with the words. And that could reference many different things. We do know that he was not that he was a big star in Italy, but he had a couple big hits. I think one of them was Summer Is Gone. And he also sang in Italian. So, yeah, there you go. That kind of works up there. And of course, kind of going back to the Rat Pack, everyone kind of associates it with the mob. And he used to hang out with them. So there could be something there with that. Then he goes, as far as I can remember, I always wanted to be the broccoli. He always wanted to be a singer. He dreamed of being a superfood with the big guys, the Rat Pack, and enrich people's lives. So he always wanted to sing with the big guys. Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., you name it. Then we see the Copacabana. He did perform in the Copacabana. And he has an album, I think it says live. It's Anka from the Copa. So 2 connections there. I don't know where the 900 comes from. I do know he's written and at least composed over 900 plus songs. So maybe that's where that number comes from. When he references having dinner with the big cheese, that was having a meeting with Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra? Granted, they, were always working together. But My Way was a song that he wrote for Frank Sinatra. What I mean by wrote, he was in France. Paul Anka was in France and listened to someone sing the song. He thought it was beautiful. And of course, it was in French. So he took that song, wrote English lyrics to it, and pitched it to Sinatra, and he loved it. So that's where Sinatra's My Way came from, which was probably one of his top-selling songs in his later years. After that, he said that after having dinner with a big cheese, he raced home and pulled an all-nighter, cooked up a beauty, blah, 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 blah. We saw the numbers 37265, which, if you spelled it on the phone, spells Frank for Frank Sinatra. Right, Frank? Yeah, Frank Sinatra. We see the Hawaiian pizza with Canadian bacon. We do know he's from Canada. We see a guitar. When he was young, he taught himself, I want to see what age it was. I think it was 13. He taught himself piano and guitar at 13. Yeah, I know, he was a superstar. Then we see the 6 a.m. We do know he has 6 kids, so that kind of works out there. When you see the anchor, we think it's a playoff of the word anchor. Anchor, anchor. I know, it's kind of a stretch, but why else would they have an anchor in the video while he was on the phone, right? Kind of weird. After that was the magic clue, which was the roulette wheel with 26 black on there. He's done so many shows since Vegas. I mean, he started in the 1960s and still performs in Vegas. Not only that, he originally performed at the Sands because that's where the Rat Pack used to perform. And he used to do certain shows for Sinatra and a couple other people. He used to open for a few of them, which is really cool to think about. So those are all the clues I have for you guys. And as I said at the beginning of the video, I do have a surprise for you guys. Because it is Paul Anka, and because I'm a jazz singer, and because, you know, Sinatra was and still is my #1 guy ever, I'm going to go ahead and sing a little bit of Paul Anka for you. Now, bear with me here, because I recorded because of YouTube's algorithm and the way that they do a copyright striking, I had to record all the background things, and I pretty much couldn't use any of the music online because I would get hit with copyright, and then I couldn't do anything. The video would be taken down. So I recorded the background parts, and I'm going to be covering the top part. I mean, the melody to it. So this should be interesting. Let's see how this goes. Okay, let me. Here we go. Ready? There it is. That's me. That's me.
Put your head on my shoulder. Hold me in your arms, baby. Just a kiss or two. Show me that you love me too.
Yeah, so it was just a little bit, just because why not? Stop that on the computer. I hope you enjoyed that. I know it was a little bit different. I know you're not used to actually hearing me sing on the YouTube channel. Well, there are some videos, and I'm working on a very, very fun Christmas video, which should be coming in a few weeks, because I'm working on the vocals on that. It should be fun. And if anyone's a fan of Katy Perry, then you'll definitely like this song. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Let me know if you agree with me. Is it Paul Anka? Is it not Paul Anka? Let me know in the comment section. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up, especially because I sang in this video for you. Anyway, I'm Joey. I'll see you later. Bye.